everyone, Grant for the Flame Learning channel. In this video, we'll cover an update to the Flame's user interface, making Flame easier to use for everyone when it comes to grading and VFX work. So we'll start off by discussing the default settings and how you can choose what you want. And then we'll discuss the differences between the single and dual views, enabling you to choose how you'd like to work. So when you create a new user profile, Flame creates a standard set of preferences which defines how the software will work for you. In the case of the image toolset, the Action 3D Compositor and Gmask Tracer, when you visit these tools for the first time, you will be presented with the single view. If you have used Flame before and prefer using the dual view, just click this button to toggle the interface and you can continue to work like this. This toggle button replaces the three arrows we used to have in the center of the interface. For those of you who prefer keyboard shortcuts, Alt-Shift-Left will give you the single panel, and Alt-Shift-Down will give you the dual panels. Now, very importantly, this toggle is a global setting across Image, Action, and the Gmask Tracer. When you change it, all instances of these tools will use this interface. This setting is part of your user profile, so whichever UI you go with will always appear irrespective of the project you're working in. Now, before we get into the details of each view, I just want to mention that both views control how various object menus and properties are displayed. So it makes sense that you can only toggle between a single and dual view when looking at the object menu. If you're looking at a node bin or something else, this button won't appear until you switch to the relevant menu. So what are the big differences between the single and dual view? The single view only displays the selected object's properties. So whatever you choose in the viewport, HUD, manager or schematic will be displayed right in front of you. Another way of choosing an object's properties is to use the tabs running along the top of the single panel. What makes this useful is that these tabs show the other objects that are connected or associated to the current selection. For example, you are using a selective to isolate a portion of your image. You can then easily switch to a connected shader, like the master grade, and grade within the selective. The same concept would apply if you're adjusting the position of an image and then proceeding to change the image's properties. This allows for more creativity and less time moving the cursor all over the screen. And as a tip, you can see how each tab displays the name of an object. If you were to change the name of any object, the name change will also be displayed on the tabs. Now, focusing on the layout of the single view, the options are spread out, some controls are bigger, and there are fewer sub-menus to explore to get to various controls. This makes Flame easier to learn by focusing on one object's properties at a time, and the interface is less cluttered and it's easier to find things. Now, if you switch to the dual view, it does display the same kind of information, but you get more controls in a more compact view. So as opposed to the single view showing one menu at a time, the dual view gives you two columns that give you twice the amount of information. So you can select any object in the image toolset or Action 3D Compositor, and you will see your object selection in one column and a connected object's properties in the other. For example, you can see the selective object's properties, as well as a connected shader like the master grade. So if you're working between these two objects, there is less switching between selections. However, there are many more sub-menus per object to access the various properties. So each view has its benefits, and now you get to choose how you'd like to interact with grading and VFX objects in Flame. Don't forget to check out the other features, workflows, and enhancements to Flame 2021.2. Comments, feedback, and suggestions are always welcome and appreciated. Please subscribe to the Flame Learning channel and click the bell to be notified for future videos. Thanks for watching and see you soon.